Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my first days as a booktuber. In this case, I will try to make a summary and a synthesis of all the things from the book The Stranger, which is the name in English, The Outsider, which is the version of in British English, L'Étranger, which is the original name of the book in French. Sorry about my bad French. And finally, El Extranjero, which is in my native Spanish. I first have to say something about, or a brief review of the author. Albert Camus was born, I thought myself, because I had no idea, I thought he was French, but he was not born in French. He was born in Algeria on November 7th, 1913. His father was killed in World War First, and Albert lived with his mother and a brother and one paralyzed uncle in the middle of an extreme poverty. And despite of this poverty, he managed to attend the university um, by paying that with a series of odd jobs. He unfortunately suffered some respiratory problems that forced him to drop out of the university. Yeah, but this extreme poverty and the illnesses he went through uh, had a great influence in his writing, where he began being a political journal, and he wrote extensively about the poverty in Algeria. He also wrote about the anti-German movement a lot, and during the wartime in Paris, he develops his philosophy of the absurd. um, the next thing that I have to say is to talk about the novel itself. And the, the Stranger begins as, yeah, it's a very strange story. Yeah, the name of the book is similar to the feelings I had during the story, because the man, which his name is Marsal, lives in a place by himself, and he was told that his mother was in bad conditions, and he was something like emotionally detached to that thing. Yeah, this young man who was called Marsal, yeah, didn't cry or never cries at his mother's funeral. He's an atheist. He doesn't believe in God, and there's a lot of absurdist philosophy that he went through the experience. Yeah, he was asked by a friend of him um, to help his mistress, and then um, he goes there to help the guy, and then he gets the man's gun, and the mistress of his friend was with her brother, and the guy had a knife, and but Mersal was not paying attention to anything because that was his lifestyle. I mean, his life was like that. He was not pretending to be something else or someone else. Um, so Marsal explains that based on the heat of the moment, or it was extremely sunny, yeah, he kills the man, but unintentionally. I mean, it was not deliberate, never on purpose as he meant, but he goes to prison for murder. That means for murder, on first degree. That means intentionally murder. Yeah. Okay. He doesn't care too much about that thing. As a matter of fact, like everything and everybody is like surprised. Like, I mean, his mother dies. He goes to the funeral. He doesn't pay too much attention to that, and then he's sent to prison. He doesn't care too much about being sent to prison, and the only thing he cares about is in prison is that he has no place to smoke and do some like activities that people will consider like necessary or unnecessary. Um, then when someone was sent to prison to help him or to try to help him, and he doesn't even care about the man's words, he never pays attention to what he says, but in one of the moments he makes him cry in a very strange, in a very strange thing, because that was not normally his style. Well, at the end of the novel, he is executed, but anyway, yeah, it's a very strange story because he is like executed. Yeah, he was sent to the guillotine. Yeah. Um, One thing that I have to say is during this version of the Booktube is that I have to say what I chose this book. Um, I chose this book because of my father. My father was a French literature teacher at Universidad del Atlántico here in Barranquilla, Colombia. He never taught in grammar French. He only taught grammar literature, and he also worked at different places teaching that subject, which is not that easy to find anywhere. Yeah, that was my father's favorite book, The Stranger, and well, I'm trying to do this activity, which is nothing compared to an analysis of what my father would probably have done. Um, and I think that's the main reason for choosing this book. Yeah, I hope my father can forgive me there when he listens to this story. Up there in heaven. Um, well, there are some things that I would like to talk to about the values of the book. Yeah, and well, the existentialism is one of the things where Albert Camus is like his main characteristic, although the theory of the absurd or the philosophy of the absurd. Yeah, but anyway, he thinks that when he goes to the trial, people or the judge judges, yeah, more his attitude towards life, his attitude toward his mother, instead of like making a right trial because of the things that he had done during this trial. Yeah, I mean the execution or the murder of the Arab. Yeah, and the question is if I would recommend this novel. Well, my point of view is this. Um, it's very difficult to try to understand a novel at the beginning because you have to find like a connection between Albert Camus' life and the execution of the novel itself or the writing of the novel and how it gets connected and how it affects people or try to understand or make people understand. It's a very good book. Yeah, because it's not a person that everybody, yeah, like there's like paradigms where people normally say people have to be like this, so the society has to be like this. Yeah, there's this anomy where the guy doesn't really care about values or things that society tells us how to behave. Yeah, so the guy behaves the way he wants. Well, I think I would probably recommend the book with no problem at all. Yeah, and that's my point of view. Thank you very much. I hope you like and enjoy the video. Sorry about the mistakes and all that stuff. And thank you so much. Bye bye.